one and only Pimp Daddy Apple.
That's right, it's your boy back again. It's your boy, Pimp Daddy Apple.
Alright, thank you for that. How do you feel about your upcoming match at RWA on December 7th against Mighty Bosch?
Mighty Bosch, let me tell you what I'm gonna do. When I get into that ring, I'm gonna do something. And let me tell you, this is what I'm gonna do. Mighty Bosch, you came out to Lowell. I proved myself to be part of Team Montero when I beat you at the open mic. It comes Saturday, December 7th, at 225 Conant Street in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. You're gonna get a bite of Spice Daddy, baby. Pimp Daddy, Apple, Cinnamon, Toast, Crunch, Rap, Supreme. Don't miss it. Buy your ticket, baby.
I was wondering when the ham was going to show up, and there it is, Pimp Daddy Apple Cinnamon. I'm sure he'd rather be a dessert, but he's the ham. And right in the middle of the ring is the beef.
I'm sure he considers himself to be quite the snack as well. Another contrast of styles, another contrast of identities here. The mighty Bosch, Pimp Daddy Apple Cinnamon, better known as the bottom half of the Middlesex Express. Mighty Bosch, though, in a short amount of time, has also made quite a few waves here in the region.
And he's also wearing a Christmas... Oh, wait a minute. No?
That's
built in.
Yeah, that's kind of part of the build-up here, but that's just classic Pimp Daddy Apple Cinnamon. Now, that's what we've grown to expect. He's a lot of hijinks. He's very quick to take his opponent out of the match mentally.
And you're right, the Mighty Bosch has been making waves. First man his size that I've ever seen do a moonsault in this building. Oh! Bosch's Elf Sin with a slap on the rear end of Pimp Daddy Apple Cinnamon. Oh, God! In the hard way, and the hat goes flying. I wouldn't have expected the hat to fit that dome.
Bosch now with a drop down, comes up really quick.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, he went down on his ankle really bad. Oh, wait a minute. Sidestep, pass into the buckle.
The unlikely agility of Mighty Bosch on display. Pimp Daddy Apple Cinnamon thrown out of his hat halfway across the ring.
He wanted to play Pimp Daddy's game for a moment, but realized just throwing the asshole across the ring was going to be the way to go.
When you've got brute force strength on your side, utilize it. And that's just what's going on right now from pillar to post. Bosch runs in with a body splash.
I keep trying to tell Bosch, like, you watch mixed martial arts, you watch the Ultimate Fight. People with a great ground game shouldn't worry about boxing.
No, they shouldn't. But he just stopped Pimp Daddy Apple Cinnamon in that cross body block attempt. Beautiful overhead fall away slam.
They call it the fall away slam. I call it the bag of shit because he's being disposed like one. Cover two.
Still not quite enough. Rather early on in this contest.
It's never too early to cover someone, ever.
No, but it is a little bit early to expect a 3 count. Now, granted, there's a massive size differential, but Pimp Daddy Apple Cinnamon can hold up rather well. We've seen that in the past.
Oh, yes, he can. One of the best tag team wrestlers I've ever seen, and right in the center of gravity on the Mighty Bosch.
Again, he's looking to take out this big Sequoia by the trunk, taking out the legs. That's most likely going to be a factor as this match goes on. Mighty Bosch now brought down to size. Pimp Daddy has got him draped over that middle rope, asphyxiating him. Really taking some liberties as he's just been hoisted up and falls on top of Sid Morrigan. Oh no, that's not going to do anything besides upset the Mighty One himself. Pimp Daddy now all over that left knee of his, clearly exposing it, exploiting every bit of it that he can, and that's one way to make up for the size differential. It's not a card that I would play, but
it's working.
When you're throwing lemons, you got to make some lemonade, right?
Making lemonade out of Pimp Daddy Apple Cinnamon.
Yeah, he'd probably take exception to that, wouldn't he?
Yes. This crowd solidly behind the Mighty Bosch.
He certainly won over the faithful here in the Chop Shop over the past year. Pimp Daddy Apple Cinnamon's left folks with a lot more questions than answers.
Trying to keep Mighty Bosch from standing back up. Spinning toe hold. Close enough to the ropes that Bosch could probably shimmy and shake to break, but... Oh, wait a minute. Shove off with one big boot.
Bosch now gets to his feet.
Oh, right back to the knee.
Pimp Daddy Apple Cinnamon not letting him stand for much longer than a second, if that. He's got the right idea. Keep the big man grounded. Out about the ankle. What's he thinking here?
Ooh! Hyperextend the back of those knees.
He could even be doing damage to the hamstrings and the quadriceps at the moment.
Never mind the pressure his body must go through on a daily basis just walking him around. As a big person myself, I understand this pain.
Absolutely. It's a lot of frame to be supported right there. And Bosch now gets a hold of the rope, forcing the referee's hand with that 5 count.
And you also got to remember, and I don't think I'm telling tales out of school here, but the Mighty Bosch is no spring chicken. It takes a little bit longer to come back from stuff like this at that age.
Well, he's coming back from a damn near 20-year hiatus, so you're right on that one, Simon Eddy. But he's not going to allow age to be a factor. The recovery time, you got to wonder what kind of fighting shape is he going to be at the end of this match? What kind of fighting shape is he going to be at the end of the month?
We also have to remember, like, guys his size, guys my size, doing the things that we do, moonsaults and such. I just had neck surgery because of all the risks I've taken. I have titanium in me because of all the risks I've taken. So he has got to be feeling every little bit of this right now. But he's going, wait a minute. Oh!
The Michinoku driver.
Cover. Oh, that could have been it, but good golly, did Apple Cinnamon kick out.
Well, Mighty Bosch is fighting through the pain, and he's also playing the cards that he's been dealt. Well, for how much longer can he hold out? He's starting to look really wobbly on that leg of his. Throws a mean right hand to PDAC as he's laid up in the corner.
You're getting abbreviations now. PDAC.
PDAC, I like it.
Oh! Not quite a low blow, but oh, he just fell on that bad knee.
Just enough to shake the foundation. Pimp Daddy from that middle rope. Will that be enough? He's looking to go for the pin. Jackknife style cover. And Jeremy Bell says this match will in fact continue.
And you have to speak to the brilliance of Stephen Broad, Pimp Daddy Apple Cinnamon. He has basically taken this whole match. He has taken over on a mistake Bosch made trying to match athleticism with it.
Say what you will about the bottom half of the Middlesex Express, but he's probably one of the more cagey athletes we have on the RWA roster. He's certainly holding his own. And again, he focuses the offense to that bum knee.
Listen, that knee pays its bills.
Bosch is in a world of hurt right now, but we've got ourselves somewhat of an exchange outside of the ring between Morrigan and Pimp Daddy Apple Cinnamon. Wait a minute, Pimp Daddy Apple Cinnamon's got a present in hand.
Wait a minute. Wait, no. She didn't hit him. Wait, what's Pimp Daddy got?
That was a ruse. That was nothing but a ruse. He's got himself some cinnamon. He's blinded the Mighty Bosch.
He just blasted him in the eyes with cinnamon. His eyes are dry as hell.
In a very tumultuous series of events, Sid Morrigan was unceremoniously ejected from ringside. Jeremy Bell's back was turned to the action, and Pimp Daddy, with a handful of cinnamon, blinded the Mighty Bosch, leading into a roll-up victory. This stinks, Simon Eddy. This whole thing stinks.
Well, if somebody had to spice up Christmas dinner, might as well have been Pimp Daddy Apple Cinnamon.
Jesus Louises. You gotta wonder if management's gonna take a look at the footage on this one. But folks, we've got a lot more of the Riot Before Christmas on tap for you. Don't go anywhere.